Okay, let's start our discussion now. Juvency, remember our previous topic,
Yes.
FHRP? FHRP.
Yes.
We are trying to discuss other points in FHRP. Let's create a
Eh,
design. Give me 5 minutes. I'm creating design again.
Yeah. It was SHRP, and VRRP.
Yes. We will complete our all the protocols discussion today. HSRP, VRRP, and GLBP.
But I'm still not received the session.
Last session video.
Yes,
Okay. I
I
will share
didn't
today. Okay, after
receive.
this session. I will share.
Even which one you shared yesterday, but I didn't receive also.
Please check mail. Okay. I shared a
Yeah,
folder with you. You can see. You can go in Google Drive. Okay, go to shared with me option. Okay, I shared with you a folder. In folder, I'm uploading all the videos.
but the problem is, ah,
Yes, you can check now.
I have one small problem. Okay, let me check. One problem. My Google Drive is full. A small capacity.
Give me 5 minutes. Okay, I'm doing basic configuration. Juvency. Let's start our configuration with R1. So interface fast Ethernet 0/0. No shutdown. Exit. 0/1. 99.99.99.1. No shutdown. And I'm configuring default route for any network, any mask, 99.99.99.10. Let's go to R2. R2 is my second gateway device. 0/0, 192.168.10.5 mask. No shutdown. Fast Ethernet 0/1. 99.99.99.5 mask. No shutdown. IP route, any network, any mask, 99.99.99.10. Let's go to R4. I need to configure, yes, default router 7. Let's configure R4. So this is ISP router, ISP gateway, interface fast Ethernet 0/0, 99.99.99.10 mask. And for return traffic, I'm creating entry for 192.168.10.0. 99.99.99.1 is my first gateway, and 99.99.5 is my second. Let's go to R3. This is LAN PC. So host name, I'm using LAN hyphen PC interface fast Ethernet 0/0 192.168.10.10 mask. No shutdown. No shutdown. Now this is 10.10. Wait. 10.10 virtual IP 192.168.10.254. Now, Juvency, can you hear me, dear? Juvency, Juvency, can you hear me, dear? Hello.
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Okay, now let's go to R1 router. And now into this design, we are trying to implement HSRP, gain, VRRP, and GLDP. These three protocols we are trying to use into this design. So R1, let's go to interface. Remember command? Remember command of interface fast Ethernet 0/0. And what is the command? Standby. Question mark,
Standby.
standby. Yes.
Question mark, yeah.
You can select a group number. So you can select a number in between 0 to 255. I'm using 1. Question mark. Now you can use IP command. IP or HSRP and to set virtual IP address. So IP, and what is
Okay.
virtual IP? 192.168.10.254
Ten
is
dot
my
two
virtual IP.
54.
Now standby 1. You can enable preempt. We can enable preemption here because preemption is by default disabled in HSRP and in GLBP protocol. Now
Okay.
standby one, we can set a priority value. So on this device, I'm using priority value, for example, 150, 150. So this is command syntax show, run, show run interface fast Ethernet 0/0. We are using standby command, priority command, and preempt command. Let's go to our two router. Here I'm using what? Let's go to interface fast Ethernet 0/0. Standby one. IP 192.168.10.254. Standby one. Priority I'm using 125. Standby 1, I'm trying to enable pinged. Now let's verify our active and standby information. Let's try to verify. Okay, here I'm using show standby command. Show standby command I'm using on R. And now you can see here, this interface is a part of HSRP group 1. State is active, two state changes.
Okay.
Last changes on this time. This is our virtual IP address. This is our virtual MAC address. Remember, for HSRP, virtual MAC address start with 0C07. Hello timers, default timer is 3 seconds. Hold on timer is 10
Second.
seconds. Preemption
10 seconds. Oh,
active router is
and
a
then,
local router. This local
hmm,
router is acting as a active router. Now standby, right now standby is unknown. Let's verify this information again, which shows standby command. So you can see this time I have active router information. So this active router is local. And what about standby router? So standby router is 192.168.10.5.
dot 5.
Yes, 10.5 is what standby router. And this router is standby router, right? Because here we have priority value 125. And this router local
Hmm,
priority value is what? 150 we are using, right?
hmm.
As per our task, this R1 is acting as a active router. And if you go and verify on second router, which shows standby command, this router status is what? Standby.
Standby.
Router status is what? Standby. And now you can see this information. Active router is 192.168.10.1. Why? Because his priority value is 150. Higher priority value. Preemption is enabled on both the devices. Standby router is local. This R2 is what? It's a standby router. So in case if you go to R3 router and we can set here gateway IP, no IP routing command I'm using. IP default gateway 192.168.10.254. 254. Now let's verify. Let's try to ping 10 dot no 99 dot 99 dot 99 dot 99 dot ping. I'm trying to ping and I'm getting reply. I'm getting reply,
Hmm,
right? Traffic is traveling. And traffic
yeah.
is traveling via 192.168 10.1 via R2 or via R1 router. See, right? 10.1. Traffic is traveling via this side. Now,
Yeah.
in case if this device goes down, so what I'm doing, I'm trying to power off this interface. Okay, let's go to 0/0 and I'm using shutdown command. Interface is not available. Device is down. If
Yeah.
interface is not available, so you can see here, you can go to R2 router, you can see state is what? Active.
Active.
Active. This device is active and you can verify here. You can try to initiate your traffic. This time traffic is traveling via 10.5. Do you get
Okay.
my point?
Yes.
Now you can, this is what HSRP implementation. This is HSRP. If you want to use other command syntax, you can go to interface standby one. And now you can go with name. You can give a name, just like a description, for example. You can set a timer, hello timer and dead interval. You can set, for example, standby one timers, question mark. You can set hello timer first. For example, I'm using hello timer 5 seconds, then dead timer or hold on timer is what? Start with 6 seconds. And default timer is, if you remember, default hello timer is what? 3 seconds and hold on timer is what? 10 seconds. If you want to
10
change,
seconds.
you
Yeah.
can change from here. If I'm using hello timer, for example, 10 seconds, then hold on timer is 11. So you can change timers here. Now let's verify some information. Let's verify right now this R2 is active, right? Right now this R2 is
Hmm,
active, right? Now,
yes.
after some time, if this R1 will come up again, after some time, if this R1 will come up again, it will become active again. Why? Because here we have higher priority value and preemption is enabled by default.
Preemption. Yeah.
So as
By
per our
default.
theoretical discussion, if R1 will come up again, it will become active again, right? So let's verify
Yes.
show with show standby command. So now again you can see R1 is what? Active.
Okay.
And if you verify on R2, this time R2 is what? Again, standby. Clear HSRP implementation, Juvency?
Yes, but I have one small question.
Mm-hmm.
On that case, what the virtual IP is doing? What the role of virtual
So
IP?
virtual IP.
Yes.
Virtual IP, you can use same subnet of IP. Any IP from same subnet. Virtual IP, I'm using 192.168.10.254. This IP is acting as a default gateway for all LAN machines. Okay, you can see gateway
Okay.
IP. What is gateway IP for this machine is what? 254. You
Yeah,
can
just for
combine. You
gateway.
can
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
combine two gateway. You can combine two gateway IP and can create a single virtual IP. This virtual IP can act as a default gateway IP for all LAN machine. When you combine, then they can decide for active and standby. In an HSRP, we have active and standby concept. In VRRP, we have master and backup option. Clear this
Okay.
point?
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's try to implement VRRP. Let's try to implement VRRP. So I'm trying to delete this standby one command. No standby one. Let's go to R2 router, R2 and interface fast ether. No standby one. So I'm not using any, see, I'm not using any HSRP protocol. You see, HSRP, VRRP, no, I'm not using anyone. Show standby, show standby. So VRRP, remember, VRRP is an open standard protocol. Okay, if you are working in a multi-vendor scenario, for example, you have one Cisco router, another is Juniper router or Alcatel router or any other vendor, and
Okay.
you are looking for redundancies, so you can go with VRRP protocol. How to implement VRRP? Again, we can go to interface. Interface. What is command syntax? VRRP is a command. For HSRP, command is what? Standby. For VRRP is a command. Question mark. Question mark. You can select group number. What I'm using? Question mark. Same. IP command you can use to enable virtual router redundancy protocol. You can define your virtual IP. So command is what? IP. Now you can set your virtual IP. VRRP group IP. So 192.168.10.254. Now VRRP question mark group number question mark and you can see preemption option. If you remember our theoretical discussion, preemption is by default enable, by default on in VRRP protocol. Remember?
Okay.
So I'm not enabling this preempt section here. Preemption is by default
Because
enable.
it, yeah, by default is
By
enabled.
default enable. If you want to disable, you can disable. But my point is, by default, it's enabled in VRRP protocol. So I'm not trying to enable. Okay, I'm trying to set
Yes.
priority value here. Priority value, I'm using 160, 160. Let's go to our do router. Interface fast Ethernet 0/0. VRRP 1 IP 192.168.10.254. VRRP, VRRP 1. Now preemption is enabled by default. So I'm trying to configure
Yes.
priority value. Here I'm using 130, 130. So as per our discussion, a router is having higher priority value will become master and the lower one will become backup. So let's verify here
Backup, yeah.
on R1, show VRRP command we are using to verify VRRP status. Show VRRP command fast Ethernet 0/0.
Yeah.
Yeah. This interface we are
Repeat
using
one
for
system.
group number one. State is what? Master.
Master.
Okay, and preemption you can see, QNC. Preemption is enabled by default. By default, it's
But
enabled. Priority value,
yes, and
priority value is 160. Master router is
one
10.1.
system.
Yes, R1 is a master router. R1 is a master router. Let's verify
Okay.
again this output again. Master router is what? Let's go to R2. Show VRRP. Show VRRP. So this router status is what?
Backup.
Backup router. And this router local priority value is 130. Master router is 10.1 and master router priority value is 160. Now
Okay.
you can try to initiate your traffic. If you initiate your traffic from R3 again, let's try to ping. So yes, I can ping if I'm trying to trace my route. So traffic is traveling via 10.1 by default because this router is what? This R1 is what? Master router.
Master.
Now, in case if this master goes down, if this master goes down, for example, then this backup will become master.
Master.
You can verify
Okay.
again. You can verify with show VRRP command. Now this R2 is what? Master.
Master.
And traffic is traveling via this side. Let's verify our connectivity. I can ping and I'm trying to trace my route. Traffic is traveling via 10.5. Clear VRRP protocol, QNC.
Yes. Yes. Very
And
clear.
preemption is by default enabled. By default enabled.
Yeah.
So if this device will come up again, if this device will come up again, it will become master again. You can verify, show VRRP protocol. Again, you can use show VRRP protocol and status master.
Master. Yeah.
Now let's talk about GLBP protocol. And for GLBP, what I'm doing, I'm trying to add one more device into this design. Because in GLBP, it's called Gateway Load Balancing Protocol. In GLBP, we can utilize multiple gateway. Wait.
You want to add another device? I didn't
Yes, I'm adding one more
catch you.
router because I'm looking for
Bike.
GLBP, okay? In GLBP, you can utilize all your gateway devices. So I have three gateway. Virtual IP is same, 10.254. Let's
The
try.
same virtual IP. That means for virtual IP, even if you have five or more, you will
Yes,
use the same
yes,
virtual IP.
yes. Here I'm
Oh,
using 192, 168, 10.6, for example. So I will combine all the gateway and my virtual IP is 192.168.10.254. Let's go to R1. Let's go to R1. No VRRP, no VRRP1. Let's go to R2. R2. No VRRP, no VRRP1. No VRRP1. Now you can verify here. No VRRP protocol is running. No VRRP protocol is here. No VRRP. Now let's go to R1 and I'm trying to configure GLP. It's a simple task, just like a HSRP. Simple task. You can go to interface. You can go to interface. Command is what? GLBP. Question mark. You can select a group number one. Question mark.
okay.
Command is what? IP. IP. Question mark.
Right.
Virtual IP 192.168.10.254. GLBP1. I'm trying to enable preempt. GLBP1, I'm
If I,
trying to enable preempt.
yeah, you should enable.
Yes, because in HSRP in GLBP preemption is disabled by default. So GLBP1 priority value I'm using 155. Let's go to R2 interface fast Ethernet 0/0. GLBP1 priority is 140. GLBP1 IP 192.168.10.254. GLBP1 preemption enable. Now we can prepare one more router. Wait. One 192.168.10.6 mask, no shutdown, 0/199.99.99.15 mask, no shutdown, IP route, any network, any mask, 99.99.99.10 is the next hop IP. Now let's go to interface, fast Ethernet 0/0. Command is GLBP1 IP 192.168.10.254. GLBP1 preemption is enabled. GLBP1 priority value I'm using 125. 125. Now let's start our
Preemption, you enable
sorry
preemption.
preemption.
To
Yes,
enable preemption, just use this command.
yes, GLBP
Okay.
one preempt in
Okay.
HSRP group number and preempt. Now let's start our verification with R1, R2, and R5. Okay, we have three gateway devices.
Mm.
Three gateway devices. Let's start our verification with R1. Command is what? Show GLBP protocol. Show GLBP. Now you can see here we have big output. Big output. Here we have this interface is a part of GLBP group 1. State is active. Hello timer and hold on timer. Preemption is enabled. This device is active. Standby is 10.5. 10.5. Priority here is 155. Now you can see here we have three forwarder. See, forwarder 1. Forwarder 1. State is what? Active, right? You will see.
Yeah.
We have forwarder 2. Forwarder 3. Let's verify again. Let's verify again. So we have, wait. So we have three forwarder. Forwarder 1, state is what? Active. Forwarder 2, state is what? Listen. Forwarder 3, state is
Yes.
listen. Now let's go to R2. Let's go to R2. And I'm trying to verify here, show GLBP. So we have three forwarder. And you can see now. This is box 1. Wait. This is box 1, right? This is
Yes.
box 2. And this is box 3. So now you can
Okay.
verify here on box 1. On box 1, this device forwarder 1 is what? Active. On box 2, forwarder 1 is in listening state, forwarder 3 is in a listening state, and forwarder 2 is what? State is what?
Okay.
But you can see on box 1, forwarder 2 status is what? Listen.
Listen.
So for each, yes,
Okay.
for each gateway, other gateway is in a listening state. Okay, but here forwarder 1 is active, here forwarder 2 is active, is in active state, and if you check here, show GLBP, show GLBP. So as per R3 router, forwarder 1 status is yes, and
Okay.
forward 2 is
Three
yes, and
is
but forward 3 is active.
three
So
is
all
active.
yes, so all the devices are in active state.
Okay.
Clear, Juvency? This is
Yes.
what
Yeah.
our GLBP protocol, and this is our FHRP topic. I hope it's clear for you.
Yeah. It's clear.
Okay.
I will do
Now,
some
now,
exercise.
now, after NAT and after FHRP, we can focus on BGP protocol. We'll start BGP from today, from tomorrow. Okay, Juvency?
Okay.
And see, Juvency, try to send. Wait.